Hello, welcome to the second video, and in this one we're going to look at the probability of not events. Now, what do we mean by that? Well, we mean working out the probability of something not happening. Okay, let's have a look at an example with dice. We've got fair unbiased dice. What's the probability of getting a 3? Well, we've done this one on the previous video. We said the number of ways of getting a 3 is 1. Number of possible outcomes is 6. So the probability of getting a 3, which we could write as p brackets 3, is 1 out of 6, or 1/6. Okay, so far so good. Now the next one, it says we roll the dice once, calculate the probability of not getting a 3. So the number of ways of not getting a 3. So that means 1, 2, 4, 5 or 6. Well, there's 5 ways of not getting a 3. Total number of possible outcomes, that's 6. So the probability of not getting a 3, and we got some funny notation here. We do probability bracket 3, but we put a line or a bar over the 3, and that means the probability of not getting a 3. So just that little bar on the top means not. So the probability of not getting a 3 is 5 out of 6. 5. So what have we found out then? Well, we had the probability of getting a 3 was 1/6. The probability of not getting a 3 was 5/6. Now what if we add those together? Well, 1/6 plus 5/6 is 6/6. Now 6/6 is 1 whole, so the probability of getting a 3 plus the probability of not getting a 3 is 1, which we could also write as 100%. Mathematically, we write that as the probability of A plus the probability of not A is 1. So it's either got to be A or not A. Now we can rearrange that equation. We can say the probability of not A is 1 minus the probability of A. And we could arrange it in such a way that we get the probability of A is 1 minus the probability of not A. Also notice there the total probability equals 1. So that goes back to what I was saying. It's either going to be A or not A. And the total of those probabilities is 1. Okay. Now let's have a look at an example then. The TV weather forecast says there's a 30% chance of it raining. What's the probability of it not raining? Well, we know the probability of it raining plus the probability of it not raining is going to be 1 or 100%. So 100% take away 30% is 70%, and the probability of it not raining is 70%. And you probably knew that straight away as soon as you saw 30% come up on the screen then. Let's have a look at one more. Biased dice has got a probability of getting a 5 equal to 0.4. What's the probability of not getting a 5? Well, the probability of getting a 5 plus the probability of not getting a 5 must be 1. So we've got to do 1 take away 0.4, 0.6. So the probability of not getting a 5 is going to be 0.6. Now earlier I mentioned that total probability equals 1, and that means that the probability of all possible things that can happen must equal 1, and that's what this example from quite an old exam paper is all about. We've got a spinner and then various probabilities. Let's get a bit closer look at that table. So we've got the probability of yellow, green and blue, but the probability of red is missing. Now all those 4 probabilities, that's the only things that can happen, so the probabilities must add up to be 1. Total probability equals 1. So let's add those up, and that gives us 0.87. So the probability of getting a red is 1 minus 0.87, which is 0.13. Okay, so what we've got to remember from this little video is the probability of something happening plus the probability of it not happening equals 1, which we can rearrange. The probability of something not happening is 1 minus the probability of it happening, or we could say the probability of something happening is 1 minus the probability of it not happening. Okay, so there's a very short exercise for you to have a go at on the probability of not events. Good luck with that, and I'll speak to you on the next one. Bye for now.